Always remember to clap, boys and girls. If you make videos, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, well, I'm so bad at YouTube. I'm itchy all of a sudden. Like, how does that even work? How's it going, everyone? I just can't stop scratching myself. I've had so many people reach out to me saying that they would like a more in-depth tutorial on how I make my videos. So I'm gonna show you all my different settings on my camera, on my guitars, lights, everything, Logic, what have you, DaVinci, Resolve. I'm gonna show you everything. I'm gonna show you how dirty my room is right now, even if you don't want to see it. So here's the plan. I'm going to be making a cover of Angelina by Lizzie McAlpine, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that from start to finish. I haven't even really planned out how I'm going to do it, so we're going to be doing it together completely today. Let's go ahead and start by showing what we've got to work with. First off, we will be using this microphone. This is the Neumann TLM 103. Don't judge me. So this is what we're going to be using for a microphone today, and then the guitar is this. Got it used for like, I don't know, 300 or 350 or something like that, and it's amazing for the price. So definitely check out Orangewood guitars. Again, that's the Brooklyn Live. I'm going to be using that. This microphone. The camera that we're using right now is going to be the camera we're going to film the video with, and this is the Lumix G7 with a 25mm lens by Olympus, and that lens is an f1.8. Few more things we're going to be using for this video is this light right here. This is a pocket RGB light. I can't remember the exact company, but I'll have it linked up here. This is a great light. It's super cheap for what you're getting, and don't hesitate, buy one. If you like it, buy two. I'm being serious. You won't be disappointed. So we're using that light as well as this light. Now this I will have linked as well because I can't think of the name. It's going to be right up there. And that is pretty much all the gear we're going to be using for making this video, besides my tripod and the other mic stand that we're going to use. So step one before making any video is to plan ahead, which I am terrible at. But yeah, make sure to plan ahead. Make sure you've cut out some time for that video. Make sure you're not going to get interrupted, because then you'll end up getting really frustrated and you won't make any progress. It'll be a whole thing. So you definitely don't want to do that. You want to make sure you have a specific time cut out in your day for these videos, because sometimes they can run a little bit longer than you would hope. Sometimes you just mess up too many times and then you get into a habit of messing up on the same exact spot every single time. Or maybe it's just like a loud truck passes your house every 2 minutes and you can never get the video done because it ruins it every single time. It's always something, so make sure you have adequate amount of time to complete the entire video. Also, make sure you already know what song you're going to be doing, and if it's not super simple, maybe practice it for a couple days and make sure you have it down, so the recording process is very easy and fluid, and you have no issues and no snags there. Okay, so now that we've made sure that we have an adequate amount of time and we're going to be able to pull off our video, we've practiced it enough, we can go ahead and find a spot to film our video. Okay, so this is the setup. I've got a little bit of a shelf here and my desk, and I'm not going to clean up. It's kind of messy, but I figured, you know what, instead of making it seem like I know what I'm doing, I'm just going to show it how it is. So, got my light. This is where the camera was set up. I've got my other light down there. All my gear is here. So we're going to find a place. I'm already thinking that I'm going to be sitting here, and I'm going to push this camera since it's a 25mm lens. But this is a micro four thirds camera, so it will be cropped, and it's pretty much a 50mm lens. That doesn't give us a whole lot of room to film here between there, so I'm gonna push this all the way into the corner and give me as much room as possible. So again, I'm thinking camera goes in the corner, I'll sit here, I'll adjust this light a little bit, I'll probably make sure that candle can be shown, shut off some of these other lights, and then maybe set that up as an accent going this way. So we found our spot. So I went ahead and I just set up a mic stand and put my mic there. I set up this light a little bit at a higher angle from where I'm going to be sitting, and off to the side. And then I've just got that light that will be kind of projecting on the side of me. And our camera is all the way there over in the corner. and it will look a little bit like this. Okay, so as you can see, I forgot to record the audio, so I'm going to do a voiceover for this part, and this is inside of my camera app, which I'm controlling from my phone. And if you see where I point right down here, that is my f-stop that is set to 1.8 at 60 frames per second, and I have the ISO set to 200, and this is shooting in 4K at 30 frames per second. I have it set to manual focus because the autofocus on the Lumix G7 is terrible, so I just make sure that I stay in the same area, and I've set the light up and it's projecting on the side of me and kind of casting a shadow, and then I've got the other RGB light giving that accent, and everything else is pretty much straightforward from there, and we can go ahead and take our video now. How's it going, guys? It's a whole nother day. I didn't have enough time to finish recording the entire video, but here we are. We're about to jump in and edit our video. So first we're going to go through Logic and go through and edit our stuff. I've already clipped it all to save some extra time, but we're going to go through and edit our sound a little bit, and then we will go into DaVinci, and there we will put together the sound and the video, make a little bit of adjustments, and go ahead and export our video. And yeah, so I'm going to walk you through that right now. So I've already opened some things down here. Let's go ahead and open Logic. So now that we're in Logic, you can see, let me zoom this out. You can see I've already clipped this. This is the piece that we want. But essentially what happened was this was somewhere out there. There was a bunch of audio over here and some on the end here, and I just clipped the part that I knew I would be using, and I left it a little bit long. You want to clip it a little bit long so you have some room to work with in your video when you're matching them up. Matching. My voice still cracks quite a bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and drag this to the front of our timeline, and let's give it a listen. Where did you go, Angelina? Voice is a bit quiet. That's a mistake on my end. I didn't have my microphone turned up high enough on my audio interface. I think that's keep our voice there and raise the master volume a little bit. We'll raise this to +1. I guess +1. 1.1 is fine. And we're going to lower the guitar a little bit, because if we mute the guitar, the microphone still picks it up, so you'll hear it a little bit, but this is just to add clarity, not to overwhelm the voice. So let's lower that. Hear it without and with. Maybe a little bit more. Sounds good about there. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and add some reverb to the vocals. So audio 1, we're going to go ahead and click audio effects and come down to chroma verb. And the factory default is hot garbage. It sounds like a robot. Like, listen. And where did you go? It's terrible. So I come down 2 spaces and then to clean space. And from here, I'm just going to adjust this a little bit. So let's hear it play. Let's change the parameters on this. We'll go right there. Okay. Now that'll loop in the background. We can adjust things. So this is your main channel, your main volume. That's just dry. There's no effects on it. So we'll leave that at 100. And if we bump this, there's a ton of reverb on it. With these settings, we're going to lower it a little bit. I like 30%. I'm going to turn the decay down and the distance. It's just to add a little bit of reverb, not to make it sound like I'm inside of a well. I like how that sounds. Okay, so everything's good here. This is a very simple acoustic track. We don't need to do too much more on this. So now that we've added reverb, our guitar and vocals are kind of balanced. I'm happy with it. It's all clipped up. We can go ahead and export this. So I'm going to come to File and down to Share and Song to Music, or Share to Music. I haven't had enough coffee today. So we'll go ahead and call it Angelina YouTube, and I'm going to call it 3 because I've done a couple test runs. So we're going to call it 3 and click Share. This will send it to iTunes in like a private file or folder. Where did you? There we go. So we'll go ahead and save that for later. So let's close out of this. We're done with Logic, so we can quit out of this. Make sure you save your file just in case you need to adjust something if you don't like how it sounds later. Like, you know how you'll go to a store and you'll try on a pair of jeans and you're like, wow, these fit great. And then you go home and you don't know what was going through your mind. Like, it might be the lighting in these stores or something. But anyways, always save the original because you might need to go back and tweak it later. So now we can go ahead and come into DaVinci. And once you're in DaVinci, I'm going to go full screen. And you click this button here. This is where you can import different media files. And we're going to add this, Angelina YouTube 3. We're going to go ahead and add that. So now we've got that audio file in here available for use. We're also going to come to videos, and I believe this is the correct video. So now we can go ahead and drag that video into our timeline. And as you can see, it is 1.5 minutes. And the clip is about 30 seconds long. And then there was some time where I stood up and like clicked off and stuff like that. So we're going to go around here. I bet this starts not far from here. So let's hear it. I should have known. Let's try here. You go. That's the beginning. Okay. So we're going to clip it here. Split, right click, cut. So now we've got this clip. Let's hear how it sounds from the beginning. Perfect. Did you go, Angelina? Now we're going to go to the end and clip the end. That I was never right. And just so you know, it's a little bit harder when you, if you do a bunch of takes and the one you choose is somewhere in the middle, it's a little bit harder to find it, but it's not terrible. But this happened to be my last take, so it was super easy. I know it's at the end of the clip. I'm going to end it right there. So let's go ahead, split that, and cut the end. Now, this is our final clip. So let's go ahead and come to the music section here, or sound section, and drag our audio file in. And now we're going to do our best to match them up. So let's start at the beginning and hear how they sound, and we can go from there. And where did you go, Angelina? So I can already tell that our good audio file is too far behind. So what we're going to do is we're just going to clip it like this and plop it in there. This is a little bit too zoomed in, so a little bit too much, and this audio is too loud. It's kind of hard to compare. So let's clip this some more. Try this. Better. We're getting there. Clip it some more. Very close. Okay, so let's go ahead and bump this because it's a little bit harder to hear, and clip this one more time, but just a little bit. We gotta zoom in just a little bit. One more. I want it to be perfect. There we go. So now that this is synced, we can go ahead and delete the original track, and let's hear how it sounds. Looks good. Let's change this to portrait because, again, this is going to Instagram. I shot this video landscape, so I'm going to go ahead and change it to portrait. And now we need to fix this positioning and crop. So we'll come to this window here, and you're gonna want to change your rotation angle and just set this to 90. Awesome. Now we can zoom this in until it fills the screen, which is about there. And let's hear how it sounds. And where did you go? Looks pretty synced. Angelina. I don't see any delay. Awesome. Now we'll zoom this out a little bit and we'll come to the end. And as you can see, this is why you need that extra little bit of audio, so you don't have an issue where your audio's like way inside, because you can't undo that, but you can always trim this. So let's go ahead and trim this. We can do that by clicking the razor, clicking trim, coming back, and cutting that. Okay, so now that this is done, we can go ahead and adjust some things, because let's see how it sounds at the end. We'll click loop, click play. For that part, and looks good. Okay, let's go ahead and do a fade. So to create a fade, make sure you're in this window, and you just hover over your clip in your timeline and click that, and you drag that to where you want the fade to start, and it will end at the end of your video. So if we have it there, it's gonna look like this. For that part. I like that. You can also fade your audio as well the same exact way. So let's try it like that. Let's see how this sounds. I was never right for that part. And where did you go? I like it. I like it a lot. Okay. So now we're pretty much done. We've done almost everything. There's one more thing. This is optional, but this is a tutorial on how I make my videos, not how you should make videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I also do. You're gonna want to come to this window again. Okay, let's go ahead and click our video that's in our timeline, and you will have a bunch of different settings over here. I always use dynamic zoom, and if you double click on that, you can open it. I keep it on linear and click swap because the default is it starts in and zooms out, but I want mine to start out and zoom in. So this is what it's gonna look like. And as you can see, there's a really small zoom or a slow zoom. It just makes it a little bit more, I guess, cinematic. I look stupid in this video. I really do look stupid in this video. But I recorded it a couple days ago, and I don't have the energy to record it again. So as you can see, beginning of the video, it's zoomed out, and end of the video, it's zoomed in. So that's what it's gonna look like. Okay, so now that our video is done, we're gonna want to export it. So you will just come to a little rocket ship down here. Okay, so we're gonna name our file and choose the location. So you just click browse. You can name it here. I'm gonna call it Angelina YouTube 3, and then we'll go ahead and select videos. That's where I want mine to go. Click save. I'm not going to adjust any settings down here because I like how it is. Click add to render queue, and now it is added to our render queue, and we can click render all. Okay, so this clip is 39 seconds long, and it took me 18 seconds to render. So that's pretty typical for a MacBook Air with an M1 chip. So now that we've exported it, let's just double check and make sure we can find it. Let's close out of this. Let's pull this on here, go to videos, and we see it, Angelina YouTube 3. So now we can quit out of DaVinci Resolve. And again, make sure you save it. So now that we've quit out of that, we are ready to view our video. And let's make sure it looks good. Okay, let's see how it looks. And where did you go, Angelina? So on my screen, I don't know about you, but on my screen, it looks super orange because my screen is like set up for looking at a screen for 8 hours a day. But it came out good. So now the only other thing we have to do, is come to our phone, make sure it's unlocked. If you're using an iPhone, you can go ahead and unlock your iPhone, right click, come down to share, and airdrop. This is the fastest way that I do it. And I just click on my name. Sometimes Macs freeze when airdropping. It could just be mine, but it happens quite often. So I just click force quit and relaunch Finder, and the issue goes away. So I can open Finder again and come to this and click share, airdrop, and airdrop it to myself. I don't know why that happens. If you know why or have a solution, let me know. But we already got the video, so we are set Okay, so that wraps up how I make my videos. Super simple, everything's free except for Logic Pro. But yeah, so I'll have links to all the different things that I use in the description, as well as the different softwares. But yeah, I definitely recommend using DaVinci because it's free. It has everything you can possibly need. But yeah, that's everything that I do to make a video like this from start to finish. If there's anything you think I missed or something that you want me to explain a little bit more, let me know. And we can do that in another video, as well as check out my full cover up here of Angelina. And I guess we'll see you in the next video.